Last week we went over most of Leviticus 23. We went through and broke down all the high holy days. And now we're going to finish up Leviticus 23 and dive into 24. Pick it up where we left off at verse 44. Right, the bar Masha al Ma'idya Yahweh al Bunya Sha'ala. Leviticus 24 and verse 1. Right, the bar Yahweh al Mashal Amar. Verse 2. Hazwa al Bunya Sha'ala. Right, Fakwa al Alika Shamun Zayat Zak Kaswat Lamawar Lahailas Nar Samyad. Verse 3. Mahwatza Parkat Ha'ida Ba'achal Ma'id Iraq Aswa Harun Ma'irab Id Bakar upon Yahweh Damyad Chakwas Iwalum LEVITICUS, verse 4. Ad Hamanara, Hatara, Iraq, Ath Anarwas, upon Yahweh, Yad, verse 5. Walkuchath, Salath, Wapiath, Tha, Shathim, Aishra, Kalawath, Shanya Aishuranyum, Yahaya, Achala, Achath, verse 6. Washmath, Althum, Shathim, Ma'arakwath, Shasha, Hama'irakath, Al Hashlachan, Hatahar, Lapanya Yahweh. And we're going to go back to the English. We're going to jump back into the English while we work on the sound. Swab. Okay. All right, if everybody's Tawab, let us know. Tawab to everybody for rocking it out with us and joining us. We're going to get into the English here. Leviticus 23 and 44. And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of the Lord. So that summarizes that chapter. That's the chapter that we read on every high holy day. It's Leviticus 23 because it breaks down all of the high holy days. 24 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil, olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually, without the veil of the testimony, in the tabernacle of the congregation. And so these lamps are to be outside of the veil of the testimony. We went over the whole outline of the tabernacle and how it was laid out. So you got the you got the courtyard and you go in progressively into the more holy places in the tabernacle. And so this is on the outer area. You got these lamps that will burn nonstop. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. He shall order the lamps upon the pure candlestick before the Lord continually. And thou shalt take fine flour and bake 12 cakes thereof. 2/10 deals shall be in one cake. So that, to be clear, that those candlesticks, those are the menorahs or the menorahs. And these were sitting outside of the outside in the courtyard, and these were to be burning at all times. And that connects to the Hanukkah, which is coming up soon on December 14th. And that's when we have the menorah to symbolize that we had this great victory and restored and rededicated the temple in the face of an oppressor that tried to wipe out our culture completely. It is this same menorah with 7 branches, and that's it. If the Ishmael shows you one with 9 branches, it's wrong. There's nowhere in the scriptures where it says make one specifically for Hanukkah and put nine branches in it for 8 days. That's not the point. And the story that they tell about, some miraculous oil burning for 8 days, that's not in the scriptures either. What is in the scriptures is that the Lord delivered us a great victory against our enemies who were trying to wipe out our culture, who had profaned the temple. And now we were back in the temple, rededicating it to the Most High. And that's a beautiful thing. That's all the message that we need. You don't need to make up something about miraculous oil burning. The point is that now that we were in the temple, it was an 8-day long party. It was basically, if you go into the Maccabees, it tells you they was basically making up for the fact that they didn't get to celebrate the tabernacles that year because of the oppression we was under. And so they had an 8-day feast day. And they had these candlesticks burning the whole time. And the miracle is that the Lord was with us and delivered us from our enemies, not that the candles was lit for 8 days. Verse 6, and thou shalt set them in 2 rows, 6 on a row upon the pure table before the Lord. That's referring to the cakes of fine flour. So back to the Hebrew from verse 7. Wanathath al Hama'arakath Labana Zakah Wahayatha Lalchum La Zakara Ashala Yahweh, verse 8, by Wum Hashbath, by Wum Hashbath Ya'irakanwa Lapunya Yahweh Damyad Ma'ath Bunya Sha'ala Bariath Ulam, verse 9, Wahayatha La Haran Walabunywa Wakalawa Kuwam Kodash Kaya Kodash Kodashim Ho'al Awa Ma'ashia Yahweh Chak Awalam, verse 10, Wayetzah Ban Asha Yashraliyath Wahawa Ban Asha Ban Ayash Matzaria Bathwak Ban Yasha'ala Wayanatzwa Ban Khana Ban Hayashaliyah Wayash Hayashalia, verse 11, Wayquab Ban Hasha Hayashaliyath Athasham Waykulal Wayabuawa Athwa Almasha Washam Amwa Shalom Yath Bastabaria Amatah Dan, verse 12, Wayanayachawa Bamashamar Laparash Lahum Al Paya Yahweh, verse 13, Wayadabar Yahweh Al Masha La Amar. And we're going to go back to the English from verse 7. And thou shalt put pure frankincense upon each row, that it may be on the bread for a memorial, even an offering made by fire unto the Lord. Every Sabbath he shall set it in order before the Lord continually, being taken from the children of Israel by an everlasting covenant. And it shall be Aaron's and his sons, and they shall eat it in the holy place. For it is most holy unto him of the offerings of the Lord made by fire, by a perpetual statute. And the son of an Israelitish woman, whose father was an Egyptian, went out among the children of Israel. And this son of the Israelitish woman and a man of Israel strove together in the camp. So there was an Israelite woman that had a child with a heathen father, and this son went out and had a fight with an Israelite man. Verse 11, and the Israelitish woman's son blasphemed the name of the Lord and cursed, which goes to what we tell you all the time. If you deal, the man sets the vibe for everything. So you're not supposed to deal with heathen regardless, but there's a reason we say that there's a reason that the scriptures tell you that your nation goes by your father, because your father sets the tone of who you're going to be. And this child didn't have no problem blaspheming the name of the Lord because his father was not even Israelite. And his father's culture mattered more to him than his mother's culture. So scripture say he cursed, and they brought him unto Moses, and his mother's name was Shelomith, the daughter of Dibri of the tribe of Dan. And they put him in ward, that the mind of the Lord might be showed them. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, bring forth him that hath cursed without the camp, and let all that heard him lay their hands upon his head, and let all the congregation stone him. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, Oops, we went too far. Back to the Hebrew, verse 14. Hawatzah ath hamakulal al machwatzah lamachana wasamakwa call Hashemayim ath yadahat yadyahim al ra'ashwa Argamwa athwa call ha'aida. Verse 15. Wa'al ban yasha'ala tadabar la'amar ayashayash call yakolal alahaywa Manashah Chatawa. Verse 16. Wanakwab Shem Yahweh Moath Yaumath Ragawum Yaragumwa Bawa Call Ha'aida Kagar Kazarach Wanakwabwa Shem Yaumath. Verse 17. Wayashkaya Yaka Call Napash Adam Moath Yaumath. Verse 18. Wamakah Napash Bahama Yashalmana Napash Tachat Napash. Verse 19. Wayash Kaya Yathan Muam Ba'am Yathua Kashar Isha Kanya Aisha Lawa. Verse 20. Shabar Thachath Shabar Ayan Thachath Ayan Shun Thachath Shun Kashar Yathan Muam Ba'adam Kanya Nathan Bawa. And we're going to go back to the English from verse 14. Bring forth him that have cursed without the camp, and let all that heard him lay their hands upon his head, and let all the congregation stone him. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, whosoever curseth his God shall bear his sin. And this is such like a visual, because you can see this is such a reminder of whose spirit you take. This child took his heathen father's spirit. And so as soon as he got into a fight, even though he was living amongst Israelites, as soon as he got into a fight with an Israelite, he basically said, F your God. And that's what's going to happen today out there. If you get into a fight with somebody, you're going to find out who their father is, who their real culture is, because they're going to call you an N-word. They're going to find, it's going to come out real quick. Verse 15. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, whosoever curseth his God shall bear his sin. And he that blasphemeth the name of the Lord, he shall surely be put to death. And all the congregation shall certainly stone him, as well the stranger as he that is born in the land. When he blasphemeth the name of the Lord, shall be put to death. And he that killeth any man shall surely be put to death. And he that killeth a beast shall make it good. Beast for beast. And if a man cause a blemish in his neighbor, as he hath done, so shall it be done to him. Now, we went over recently what is a blemish according to the scriptures. A blemish is not, a pimple. That's not what a woman calls a blemish. A blemish in the scriptures is a deformity. It's something wrong with your body that's not supposed to be. That's like a permanent thing. So if basically this is saying, if you get into a fight with your neighbor and you put his eye out, it's going to be done like that to you. If you get mad at your neighbor and do something to him, and now he don't have a foot, now you're not going to have a foot. Because that's how we were establishing society is in a lot of ways is as strong as its punishments. And that's that connects to what we learn now under Yahushua with grace. But the society, our kingdom had to be established with punishments. And when Yahushua comes back, that's why this is a grace period. When Yahushua comes back, there's going to be no tolerance for anything going off. And our kingdom was established from Moses on down through this laws being laid down through strong, heavy-handed punishments, because that's what deters people. Unfortunately, in life, everybody is not a great person deep down. What stops people from doing things is the fear of what will happen if they get caught. A lot of times, that might be something different for everybody. One person that might be, eating a ham sandwich. For another person, it might be, beating up an old man in the streets. Everybody got some, people out there in this world will do what they're able to get away with. And the white man's punishment only confuses things more because he doesn't even exact his punishments properly. You can't even trust his judgment system. So it does nothing. But in a righteous kingdom, you have strong penalties, and that deters people from doing the wrong thing. Verse 20, breach for breach, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. As he hath caused a blemish in a man, so shall it be done to him again. And of course, we know that Yahushua broke this down in Matthew 5:38. Ye have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. And this is heavy, because now when you're dealing with your brother, you're not thinking about how you can avenge things on him before it even gets to that point. You're not thinking about vengeance. You're thinking about how can I resolve these issues? And that's the whole spirit. The spirit of eye for an eye was not vengeance. It was deterrence. The white man's justice system works on vengeance. They just want to punish people. They're not, you hear the term correctional institution or reform. They're not doing none of that. Nobody's coming out of these places to change people. You never see that happen. You've never seen it happen once. If they do come out, changes because of them. But their system is based on just punishment for the sake of punishment, which does nothing. But what they do is tell the victim, well, we're giving you justice. We're giving you justice by putting this man away for 30 years for, having a ounce of whatever in his pocket. Trying not to trigger none of the YouTube filters. But a true society, our society was always built on brotherhood and love and community. So those punishments are not supposed to be the focus. And that's what Christ is breaking down here. That your focus is supposed to be keeping things together, resolving issues, bringing your brotherhood together, keeping your family together. Not thinking about if he does this, I'm going to go and he's going, and, I could go get his hand cut off. Nah. Verse 38, or verse 40. And if any man will sue thee at the law and take away thy coat, let him have thy cloak also. And whosoever shall compel thee to go a mile, go with him twain, which is 2. Go 2 miles with him. Verse 42, give to him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow of thee, turn not thou away. So the point now, Christ is showing us how to be selfless, how to care more about our neighbor, our brother, than ourselves. And the two, it's not against each other. What Moses taught and what Christ taught is in harmony. Christ taught us the spirit. And the reason that this existed, because people was going off, and to this day are going off when they read these words. But back to the Hebrew from verse 21. Makah Bahama Yashalamana, wa Makah Adam, Yalmath, verse 22. Mashpat, Achad, Yahaya, Lakum, Kagar, Kazarach, Yahaya, Kaya, Anya, Yahweh, Alahayakum, verse 23. Wa Debar, Mashal, Bani Yasha'ala, wa Tizayawa, Ath Hamakullah, Ath Machwatzal, Lamachana, wa Ragamat, Rayo Gumwa, Athwa, Bun, Bani Yasha'ala, Aishwa, Kashar, Tazwa, Yahweh, Ath Masha, 25 and 1. Wa Debar, Yahweh, Al Masha, Bachar, Sayunya, La'amar, verse 2. Debar, Bani Yasha'ala, wa Marath, Alaham, Kaya, Dabawa, Al Haratiza, Ashar, Anya Nathan Lakum, Wa Shabbatha, Haratiza, Shabbath, Yahweh, verse 3. Shasha, Shanyum, Dazrai, Shadko, Wa Shasha, Shanyum, Dazamar, Karumka, Wa Sapath, Ath, Dabuatha, verse 4. Wabashana, Hashabaya, Shabbath, Shabbathwan, Yahya la Aratza, Shabbath la Yahweh, Shadka la Dazarai, Wakarumka, La'at Dazmar, and back to the Salakia 25 and 5. Back to the English for verse 21. And he that killeth a beast, he shall restore it. And he that killeth a man, he shall be put to death. Ye shall have one manner of law, as well for the stranger as for one of your own country. For I am the Lord your God. And Moses spake to the children of Israel that they should bring forth him that had cursed out of the camp and stone him with stones. And the children of Israel did as the Lord commanded Moses. Chapter 25. And the Lord spake unto Moses in Mount Sinai, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Lord. 6 years thou shalt sow thy field, and 6 years thou shalt prune thy vineyard, and gather in the fruit thereof. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for the Lord. Thou shalt neither sow thy field, nor prune thy vineyard. That which groweth of its own accord of thy harvest thou shalt not reap, neither gather the grapes of thy vine undressed. For it is a year of rest unto the land. Which is crazy. That tells you that the white man is even the devil when it comes to farming. The scriptures say you're supposed to even give the land rest. Even the land gets some rest. Do you think that happens in America? They trying to rape this land dry, every last seed, every ounce they could get out of it. They're using chemicals. They're using machinery. They're doing everything they can to get every drop out of every land, every animal. They did it when during slavery with every slave. They will squeeze every drop out of it, and that's not scripture. Why you think they got to fight each other over environmental rights? And then you got hippie Edomites fighting the farmer Edomites, because hippie Edomites say you got to be nice to the land, and the farmer Edomites say we don't care, we got to make money. That's madness. Your society is supposed to agree that you got to be kind to the land. That shouldn't be a controversial idea. So in the scriptures, it say you got 6 years to farm and save up and do whatever you got to do, because in that 7th year, you're not harvesting. You're just not. Back to the Hebrew from verse 6. Wahetha Shabbath Haratazah Lakum Laka Lakala Laka wala Badka, wala Mathka, wala Shakiyarka, wala Shabka, Hagorium, Imka, verse 7, wala Bahamathka, wala Chaya, Ashar, Basharatza, Ba'aratzaka, the Haya call, the Buatha, La'akal, verse 8, Wasaparath, Laka, Shabai, Shabbathath, Shunyum Shabai, Pa'imyum, Wahayawa, Laka, Yum Shabai, Shabbathath, Hashunyum, the Shai, Warabayim, Shana, verse 9, Wahai Barath, Shopar, Dariah, Bachdash, Hashabayawa, Baishwar, Bachdash, Baiwum, Hakaparium, the IBR was Shopar, Bakal, Aratzakum, verse 10, Wakwadashathum, Athshanath, Hachmashum, Shana, Wakarathum, Darwar, Baratza, Lakal, Yashabya, Yabal, Hawa, Tahaya, Lakum, Washabathum, Ayash, Al Achzathwa, Wayath, Al Mashpachathwa, the Shabwa, verse 11, Yabal, Hawa, Shanath, Hachamashim, Shanath, Tahaya, Lakum, La'ah, Dazariwa, Wala'ah, Daquadzarwa, Sabiyachya, Wala'ah, Davatizwarwa, Ath, Nazariah, verse 12, Kayal, Yobal, Hawa'akwadash, Dahaylakum, Man Hashdah, Dakalwa, Ath, Dabuatha, and back to the English from verse 6. And the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for you, for thee and for thy servant, and for thy maid, and for thy hired servant, and for thy stranger that sojourneth with thee, and for thy cattle, and for the beasts that are in thy land, shall all the increase thereof be meat. So basically, that's saying that whatever you had stored up, that's your vacation. That's your vacation. And you're supposed to take one. Only the psychotic white man pushes a society where you never take no breaks. You never, now again, his own people got to fight back against him to get that. But the Lord gave a break for the land, for the servants, for the animals, for you. Verse 8, and thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths of years unto thee, 7 times 7 years, and the space of the 7 Sabbaths of years shall be unto thee 49 years. Then shalt thou cause the trumpet of the Jubile to sound on the 10th day of the 7th month. In the day of atonement shall you make the trumpet sound throughout all your land. Ye shall hallow the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a Jubile unto you. And ye shall return every man unto his possession, and ye shall return every man unto his family. And so look at that. Every 50th year, everybody goes. Everything goes back to everybody, and it resets. And that's how you have harmony in the land. You know, and people got the nerve to pick up this book and say the Bible condones slavery. The Bible condones slavery. If you read what's in here, this is nothing like what existed in America. What you thinking about when you think of slavery. What's in the Bible is indentured servitude. What's in the Bible is a servant being treated well. You know, he's still being treated like a servant, but being treated well. having guidelines. The white man didn't have no guidelines. He had machines to stretch human beings out. He had devices of torture. They had no laws, no oversight, no restraint, no nothing. They just had a deviant mind and all the tools that they could imagine at their hand. That's how the white man performed slavery. Because the scripture calls him the wicked on the earth. It was prophesied to go like that. But don't compare it to what's in the Bible. Don't compare it to our laws, because that's nothing like that. So now we have a 50th year when everybody, even these indentured servants who was working, being treated right, being compensated, now they go free. Verse 11, the Jubile shall that 50th year be unto you. You shall not sow, neither reap that which groweth of itself in it, nor gather the grapes of it in it of thy vine undressed. For it is the Jubile. It shall be holy unto you. Ye shall eat the increase thereof out of the field. In the year of this Jubile, ye shall return every man unto his possession. And we're going to go back to the Hebrew from verse 13. Bashnath, Hayobal, Hazaath, the Shabu Ayash, Al Achazathwa, verse 14, Wakaya, the Makarwa, Makar, La'imiyathka, Awakwana, Mayad, Amyathka, also the Onewa, Ayash Ath Achua, verse 15, Babasapar, Shanyom Achar, Hayobal, Dakwana, Ma'ath, Amyathka, Babasapar, Shanyat, Dabuath, Yamakar, Laka, verse 16, Lapurab, Hashinyum, Darba, Makunathwa, Walapia, Ma'aith Hashanyum, the Mayat, Makunathwa, Kaya, Masapar, Dabuath, Hoa, Makar, Laka, verse 17, Wala'ah, Dona Ayash, Amyathwa, Wayarath, Malahayaka, Kaya, Anyehawa, Alahayakam, verse 18, Waishiatham, Ath, Chakwathya, Wa'ath, Mashpatya, Dashmarwa, Waishiatham, Athum, Waishabatham, Al Haratzah, Labatach, verse 19, Wanathana, Haratzah, Parya, Wakalathum, Lashabai, Washabathum, Labatach, Aliyaha. Back to the English from verse 12. Or slacking from verse 14. And if thou sell aught unto thy neighbor, or buyest aught of thy neighbor's hand, ye shall not oppress one another. According to the number of years after the Jubile, thou shalt buy of thy neighbor, and according unto the number of years of the fruits he shall sell unto thee, according to the multitude of years, thou shalt increase the price thereof, and according to the fewness of years, thou shalt diminish the price of it. For according to the number of the years of the fruits doth he sell unto thee. You shall not therefore oppress one another, but thou shalt fear thy God, for I am the Lord your God. And so that's just talking about business, talking about selling, making contracts, keeping the price right. So many of our laws is about good business, because good business makes good neighbors. Verse 18, wherefore you shall do my statutes and keep my judgments and do them. And you shall dwell in the land in safety, and the land shall yield her fruit, and you shall eat your fill and dwell therein in safety. We'll go back to the Hebrew from verse 20. Wakiyata marwa manakal bashna hashabiaith hanla'ah nazrai wala'ah Nasap, Ath double Athnawa. 21. Watazwayathwa. Watazwayathia. Ath Barakathia. Lakum. Bashana. Hashashiath. Waishath. Ath Hatabawa. Shalash. Hashanyam. Verse 22. Osaratham. Ath Hashanah. Hashem Yanath. Wakalatham. Mun. Databua. Yeshun Aid Hashanah. Dashiaith. Aid Boa. Dabuatha. Dakalwa. Yashun. Verse 23. Waharataza La'a. Damakar. La'atazamath. La'atazmathath. Kaya Laya Harataza Kayath Garyum. Watawashabium. Athum. Aimadir. Verse 24. Abakal Arataza. Akazathkum. Ga'ala. The Thunwil Arataza. Verse 25. Kaya Yamuwak. Achika. Wamarka. Wamakazathwa. Waba Galat. Gaalwa. Akurab. Aliwa. Wagaal. Athmamakar. Achua. Verse 26. Wayash Kaya. La'a Yahaya. Lawa Gaal. Washiaga. Yadwa. Wamatza. Kadya. Galathwa. And back to the English from verse 20. And if ye shall say, what shall we eat the 7th year? Behold, we shall not sow nor gather in our increase. Then I will command my blessing upon you in the 6th year, and it shall bring forth fruit for 3 years. And ye shall sow the 8th year, and eat yet of old fruit until the 9th year. Until her fruits come in, ye shall eat of the old store. So the Lord is saying, don't worry, I'm going to give you this blessing. You're going to be able to save up. And that's what it's supposed to be like. We're not supposed to be eating hand to mouth like we do in this hell. Going down to the check cashing place and having to get our check cash into our hand immediately on the spot because we got to go pay the rent and get a McDonald's value meal. That's madness. That's hell. And if you're comfortable in it, I don't know what to tell you at this point. If you're just trying to have a nicer hell, if you're just trying to figure out who to vote for that'll give you a little bit of a nicer hell, then you're not a man. Verse 23, the land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine, for ye are strangers and sojourners with me. That's God telling you that you can't sell land, that you can't do a 99-year lease on land, man. It's not your land, man. God could sweep a fire through it any time and wipe everything you built out. Please.
Just to recap what you were saying a moment ago, Ecclesiastes chapter 40, verse 28, it says, my son, he not a beggar's life.
Right. That's from the scriptures. My son, lead not a beggar's life. That was Ecclesiasticus.
Chapter 40, verse 28.
Chapter 40 and verse 28. We're not taught to lead a beggar's life, but that's the white man wants us to be comfortable doing. Wants us to be comfortable getting just enough in our paycheck to run down to the check cashing place and give them a piece of it so we can get it in cash, which is bugged out in the first place. And then we're going to run down and give some of it to the landlord who actually owns our land. Then we're going to give some more of it to the phone company. Then we're going to give some more of it to the light company. Then we're going to take the literally we got left and take it down along with our EBT card and try and fill up our basket with the cheapest, most unhealthy food in the grocery store. and then you're gonna go down because McDonald's got in 4 for $4, whatever they got. You're gonna give them your $4 left, and then you go hope that the next paycheck comes soon. That's crazy. That's no way to live. And yes, you can work hard, you can get against slavery, you can somewhat escape from that. But the majority of our people are stuck in that by design. And so if you think that it's good enough for you to get your little picket fence in the suburbs somewhere, while the ghetto is still full, while 125th Street is still full with Black and Hispanic people that should be in a righteous society, respected leaders of the community, laid out on the street on drugs, pissing themselves. If you think that's okay just because you got a nice little job and got out to the suburbs, then you don't care about your people. And guess what? That's by design too. The underlying theme of everything that we talk about in here is that you should never be comfortable being at the bottom. That's being a slave in your mind. If you're comfortable being at the bottom of society, if you're comfortable with your demographic, because it's your demographic whether you like it or not, whether you think you can say, I'm not like them, I'm not like them. Guess what? Your slave master don't care what you think. You're just like them. You're just like them, and he's giving you a little bit more of a piece than he's giving them to keep y'all apart. This is not that complex. This is not that hard to understand. If you're not getting it, it's because you don't want to get it. It's because all you want to do is be comfortable. And you have to be a weak man, half a man, a shadow of a man to just care about your comfort. Is that verse 26? No. Let's see. In all the land of your possession, ye shall grant a redemption for the land. If thy brother be waxen poor and have sold away some of his possession, and if any of his kin come to redeem it, then shall he redeem that which his brother sold. And if the man had none to redeem it, and himself be able to redeem it, and that's heavy too, because there's a whole, if you go and look up, oh man, what is it? John Oliver did a whole special on this. This is a useful Edomite, John Oliver. He did a whole episode on, I'm forgetting the term, but there is a whole way that Esau has where they'll use their laws to trick you into selling, to trick the few Black people in this country who own land and property out of it. I think there was an example of like, okay, if somebody dies and they go to pass on their house and their property, if you can just get enough of the family to argue against each other about it, a third party Edomite that has nothing to do with the case can slide in and claim the whole property. I know this sounds crazy. Y'all got to watch this. Let me see if I can find it so I can tell you the title of the episode to watch. But they have a whole set of loopholes in their law where they come and snake people out of their land. But they'll tell you that when you say things like white privilege, or when you say things like, just saying the white man's the devil, they'll say, why are you crying? Why are you whining? Just work harder. Why can't you guys get ahead? Why can't you pull yourself up by your bootstraps? It's not our fault. Slavery was 100 years ago. It's not, nobody here alive today benefited from slavery. That's what these devils say. Meanwhile, this is happening now. I'm going to find this episode and I'm going to recommend this to everybody that I see for the next week. Because if you can understand this, oh man, he got so many episodes on housing. It might be housing discrimination. Let me see if I could fast forward through it a little bit. Y'all gotta look into this. You have to. Because if you can understand that they are even stealing, using the law to steal the houses and property of the few black people that own houses and property, you can understand where you're living. And that in this scripture, this law right here is saying, look, even if in a valid scenario where you ran on hard times, right? You had to sell your house, or you thought you had to sell your house, or whatever of your possession. It literally just says his possession. Could be your guitar. And your brother finds out about it and says, what? You should have just asked me for some help. You didn't have to sell your guitar. Let's go get your guitar back. I know you love that guitar. You go with him, that person has to sell it back to you. He can't turn around and be like, nah, I found out this guitar is worth $10,000. That's my guitar now. He can't do that according to our law, because that's not how you have a community, a society, brotherhood, sisterhood. That's how you have people at each other's throats nonstop trying to get every dollar. That's how you get America. But I'm going to find this episode. I'm going to put it in the comments for whoever's watching, and I'm going to tell everybody about it because it's crazy when you see it. We're going to pick up next week where we left off. I imagine him up here. Yeah, young which is wine. Layasha'ala, which means to Israel. Imagine in the room, so I'm putting you out for dumb. You stand, turn and face east. I'm going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakaka, Tabah, Ratizak, Hayah, Aisha, Baratizak, Kawa, Hayah, Bashmayim, Nathunana, Lacham, Kaliwum, Wasalakano, Kawaku, Kaslakano, Kawakino, Wala'ah, Dabayano, Banasai 1, Abal, Hawashino, Mayan, Ra, Kayab, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Watapara, Thywalamia, Amun. English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Pray for the power structure in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shah, Wa Mayaka'ala, Wa Lahayim, Matazabi Alawap Yahan, Halawapu, Hasrunyu, Hakuziyunyu, Achayali, Wa Agwaski, Yahweh, Bashim Yahshah, the Wad Amen. In English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shah, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahan, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you. So be it. Pray for the prophesied curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah. Listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses, punishment and destruction to the heathen to speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses, punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel. They refuse to give to the school, force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. to the evils and curses, punishment and destruction, to the Edomites and the nations, their drug dealers, court system, prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, the Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, posse comitatus, the gay movement, lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airwaves, cable access channels, the radio channels, convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murder. Let Yahushua, Michael, and Gabriel come down with flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak our word. Cause to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake it thy coming. In the name of Yahushua, thank you always. So be it. Sorry, face in front. We'll give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I Imagine Shabbat. I Imagine Barak. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Thumb. Yajmatah. That concludes the Sabbath service. Oh, and we're going to pick up next week right where we left off in Leviticus, the 25th chapter and the 27th verse. Oh, kick off that.
Okay.